Legends, we've got the PRS Wind Through the Trees dual analog flanger on the bench today. Out of the 3 new pedals PRS have released, this is the one that interests me the most. However, if you want to go and check out my videos with the Horsemeat Overdrive and the Mary Cries optical compressor, they're both up on my channel. I'll link them at the end of the video. This one's pretty unique because you pretty much have 2 more or less independent flanges in here that you can blend between. You've got independent speed, depth, and manual controls for each flanger, and a shared regeneration and added highs control, as well as a global mix. And what's really interesting is down here you kind of have this like LFO mix down here to blend between the 2 flanges. So we'll start with that all the way on LFO 1, and I've got this set up the way I would set up just about any modulation effect when I start out. Depth high, rate low. There's no manual, there's no regeneration or highs. I'll just let you hear that first flanger, and I'll play with the regeneration and highs control. Then we will go all the way to LFO 2, which I've set up for a faster rate with lower depth. There's a bit of the manual control on there. Then we'll blend between them because that's where the real character in this pedal lies. There's only one chord to play. That is fat and sticky and squishy, all the things that come to mind when I think of a great sounding flanger or chorus. What I like there is the ability to have a flanger that's really working quite hard. We could crank up, say, the rate over here and add a little bit more depth, lower the manual control over there, and then have you kind of really subtle flanger and like introduce some chaos into that subtle flanger or introduce some stability into the totally chaotic flanger. This is what I'm talking about. course, with the regeneration all the way down, it's a pretty tasty chorus kind of sound. That really, really gives me that Alex Lifeson Permanent Waves vibe in a couple of spots there. Another trick that I like is setting the two rates almost, but not identical to one another, and then blending between them. You kind of get this like beating effect. It just sounds really organic and musical, in my opinion, even when you've got these higher rates and depths. Maybe with the overall mix a little bit lower, the regen lower down there. I really like this added highs control in here. It just makes everything sparkle. And I've added a bit of dirt after the flanger. Let's hear it bypass, which it is at the moment, then we'll kick it in. There's shades of Univibe in there. There's shades of a rotary style sound without quite hitting it. It doesn't really sound like your typical chorus or flanger either. That is a really, really neat feature of this particular pedal. I really, really like it. I've got the SC245 out now. Let's add some more dirt and let's see if this will give me that kind of Pat Travis Band style flanger. tasty indeed. One last test. Let's place it after the main gain stage for that kind of studio style flanging effect. As you would expect, far more pronounced. Now, I find a lot of the time when you place a flanger after distortion, it can sound a little bit cartoonish or, you know, like an old Zoom 707 where it's just there because it's like, hey, how cool is this particular sound? But it's not really musically useful. Whereas I think of studio style flangers or chorus style effects. You know, you think of rack mounted stuff from the 80s, whether it's like the Yamaha symphonic style effect in the SPX90 or the TC1210 or the stereo chorus flanger. This is kind of hitting those sweet spots where they sound really, really musical, and having all that control between the different LFOs, the added highs in there, and the mix control makes it really, really handy. I just wish it was stereo, really. That's kind of my main, I guess, gripe with this particular pedal. I think it sounds amazing. It's a fantastic sounding flanger. It's very quiet as well. A lot of kind of more vintage style flangers can be very noisy when you connect them into your signal chain. This is super quiet. It's a pretty big footprint on here, but again, you have a lot of knobs to fit on there. If it was stereo, this would pretty much be the perfect flanger pedal in my opinion, because it gives you so much control and all the tones in there are super useful and musical. I think PRS kind of nailed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And again, big thank you to Matt and the team at Electric Factory for letting me borrow this one. This is probably my favorite out of the whole bunch that I've tried. Super unique. You know, kudos to PRS for trying something a little bit different. I don't think many people would have expected them to make a pedal like this. And I hope they do some more pedals like this, like dual phases and delays and kind of funky combinations. Just give us a stereo option next time, Paul, and that will be perfect. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.